As we get closer and closer to June, everyone, it's time to start talking about the next major version of iOS, that being iOS 14, as Apple is expected to announce it at this year's WWDC. But what exactly will be included in iOS 14? What major improvements can we see coming to the iPhone, iPod Touch, and of course the iPad? Well, let's take a deeper dive and look at what we can expect for iOS 14. One of the major things to note this year with iOS 14 is that a version of this OS has already leaked online. This happened back in February, which is very rare for Apple, but it does give us insight into what the next version of iOS could have. So starting with one of the biggest changes coming to your mobile device here being a brand new home screen view. Apple is expected to include a brand new list view similar to what they already offer on the Apple Watch. They'll be bringing that over to the iPhone. In this new view, you'll be able to list all of the apps currently installed on your device in alphabetical order, but there may be some other interesting orders you can choose from, including recently added or maybe notifications that are active on those apps, maybe some most used applications, or maybe even the least used applications. It could be an interesting new way to actually screen through all of the apps on your device and maybe sort through some of the things that you didn't even realize were on your device that you might no longer need. Along with a brand new list view, Apple is expected to tweak that traditional grid view, allowing for widgets right on the home screen. So you may in the future be able to add widgets to the home screen similar to what Android has been able to do for a number of years, which would be a nice improvement. I, for one, am a big fan of the way Android presents their home screen compared to iOS, so I would love that. Please, Apple, just take what Android has and bring it over. We all know you're good at doing that. Adding to the changes to the home screen here, Apple may in the future with iOS 14 allow for apps to actually create wallpaper packs for your device. So this means developers could create an app that would then include a number of different wallpapers in it, which you could access right from within the wallpaper settings inside of your phone. You wouldn't have to save the photos to your photo album and then of course use that as a wallpaper. No. Just go into settings, choose wallpaper, they would all show up inside of there. This would also allow apps to create those brand new dynamic wallpapers that Apple has created in the past, but hasn't updated very often. So it might be a nice option for developers to be able to create their own. Let's talk about activity here, as there could be a couple of changes here. The first big thing being a brand new kids mode coming to the Apple Watch. So instead of tracking active calories, because how often do kids care about active calories, the watch would now track movement time for kids. So it could be a fun new way to encourage kids to become more active and of course complete that activity ring. Adding to the activity changes here and helping you get more fit is a brand new fitness app built right into iOS 14. This new fitness app would be available on the iPhone, Apple Watch, and the Apple TV. Think of it like a new personal trainer. It would allow you to download different fitness-related videos and classes, and then your watch would then track the progress of your fitness and then sync it back to Apple's Health app. Apple is expected to include a number of different activities within this app, including indoor running, cycling, rowing, a number of different stretching exercises here. There'll be core training, there'll be some strength training, and there'll be outdoor walking exercises, dance exercises, and if you want to cool down a little bit, there will even be yoga classes. So there should be an activity for everyone available right within this app. Moving into the world of augmented reality here, it looks like Apple may include a brand new app within iOS 14, which will allow users to get more information about the world around them using the oh-so-fun AR application. This new AR application would integrate with the Apple Store, maybe even Starbucks and other physical store locations, allowing people to view information about products by scanning these special Apple-branded QR codes. Just a thing to note about those brand new QR codes, they could play a big part in the future when Apple develops their very own AR glasses. Think about walking around wearing your glasses, scanning those QR codes. iMessage is the next thing to be updated here, as there will be a brand new mention system built into the app. So it'll allow you to actually tag contacts with their name right within an iMessage. This would be really useful if you're in a busy group chat, of course, and you kind of just want to turn notifications off because you're like, there's just too much going on in there. But then maybe your friend really wants to get a hold of you in there. They can just use your @name and then they will, of course, notify you in that sense. Similar to all other chat applications in the current world, Slack or WhatsApp WhatsApp and all that sort of stuff. Apple's just integrating that into iMessage. And it's also expected there will be a new way to retract messages after they are sent. And not a surprising change here, but it looks like Apple is redesigning the iMessage app. It will look the same, but it will be a brand new Catalyst app. That means the same application will run on your iPhone, your iPad, and now your Mac. This is important because there are a number of features that are available in the current version of iMessage that are just not available on the Mac for some reason. So if Apple sort of centralizes all of the code into one application, this could really help out. Also, it could prove the power of Catalyst applications, which Apple is trying to sell to developers right now. Some quick new mentions here. Looks like CarPlay is getting a slight upgrade. You'll be able to set a wallpaper on the home screen in CarPlay. As someone who uses CarPlay every day, I'm not really sure why you would want that, but it's an option. It's a fun thing, I guess, if you want that. Something I would consider to be a lot more important here is the new Car Key API. So this is a brand new feature which will be built into iOS 14, allowing your iPhone to act as the key to your car. Now, we already see this with Tesla. They've sort of worked this out, but it uses Bluetooth, and this new system would be built right into the iPhone and would use NFC instead. It's also interesting to note is there could be a way to actually share these keys with other people right within the app on your phone, which could be very useful. If your friend needs to borrow your car or move your car, you could just send them the key right on your phone. BMW is expected to be the first company to utilize this, but I expect many others to roll out this feature in the near future. So those are all the new features that we can expect inside of iOS 14, but when can we expect to see it? Well, it's the same as every year here. Apple usually announces the next version of iOS at WWDC. That's their worldwide developer conference, which happens in the summer. They announce and show off all of the features at WWDC, and then a beta version is available for developers to install on their devices right after that. And this year, WWDC kicks off on June 22nd, so expect a beta version of iOS 14 on that day or right after it. And for the average consumer here who doesn't want to install buggy beta software on their phone, well, the full version of iOS 14 will be coming out this fall alongside the brand new iPhone 12. But don't worry, if you have a current generation device that's running iOS 13, it's expected to be compatible with iOS 14. So that's a quick rundown of what we can expect in iOS 14 this year, everyone. I have another great video for you right here, so make sure you check that out. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.